What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? This is the Crew Sideline, the baseline. I'm your boy MB. I'm missing my boy Klew, but hey, got his big brother Pac Jam, aka Pac Wagon, aka Pac Man, all the above. Right?
And they got me double A in the middle.
Huh?
You got me in the middle.
Exactly. We got our special guest, man. We're making this thing an Oreo cookie, baby. We got my man Double A, man. Adam, man, the hostess with the Moses. We got the hostess with the Moses, and we got the realest co-host of all time, baby. Hey, getting it done, bro. How y'all doing, fellas?
Absolutely. You got me live. You got me live on the bike. I'm live on the bike right now.
Hey, he getting that Nick Saban, Nick Saban workout going on over there, man.
He just wants that. He wants that Peloton sponsorship.
Yeah. That's what it is.
It's that time of year, man. It's that down. Hey, we go on the back stretch, man. It's the back stretch for Bama, man.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks.
2 weeks, baby. 2 weeks getting it done. My man, what's up, Steve? How you doing? Steven Rivers, baby. The G-Man. The G-Man pulled the upset. Oh, my God. The G-Man. Can't sleep on the G-Man, man. Hey, everybody else getting other teams heading in one direction. The G-Man climbing, getting better and better as the season go, man. Hey, but one thing we want to jump into, man, for guys who've been getting better all year, man, hey, we identify every week. We try to identify the playmakers, and we call he's a problem. And that's what it's just like Pac Jam. His Wi-Fi is a problem. He's always there. You go. Come on, Pac Jam.
A problem. It's always a problem.
It's always a problem, man. Hey, see, look at him. He always a problem. So hopefully he'll join us back. But me, Double A, we're gonna hold it down. So all right. So he's a problem, man. For those guys that don't know, we identify the playmakers that they are a problem. All right, for the opposing team. And one guy that was a problem, especially man in Big Ten football. Indiana, man, that's one of the games where I was like, man, he lost at quarterback, and that dude's a beast. And I was like, that's going to be a problem. Hey, but they preaching team all year, and one guy with team ball, hey, you know, I bias to the linebacker, man. Michael McFadden, linebacker, had 9 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. All right, he's a problem. All right, end up being Wisconsin, man. Hey, dominating that defense, showed up and showed out, man. They got it. They played team ball. Even the backup quarterback did a great job, man. Overall, team problem. Wisconsin, all right. Hey, Indiana, they was the problem. He's the problem led by the linebacker, man, getting it done. Double A, what you got, baby?
Well, before I go on to mine, all I can say is for that Wisconsin, they were little Swiss cheese because we all thought we had.
Oh, Double A, you're mute. Go ahead.
Yeah, we thought Indiana was done.
Yeah, exactly.
And they came out and they shocked us. So
yeah, they did. They did. They got it done, man. They got it.
See that one coming, that's for sure. So who's my big problem? As much as I hate to say it, but he's in the state of Florida, and even though I'm a Miami boy at heart, you know, I did spend some times in Gainesville, but don't tell anyone.
Oh, you muted, man. You muted, Double A.
Yeah, somebody likes having fun with my mute button around here. Mr. Kyle Trask is a problem for them Gators and for potentially that Bama team, but we're going to find out soon enough.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, hey, he was 35 for 49. All right, 433 yards and 4 touches. He's a problem. Hey, speaking of Bama, what you got, Pac Jam, Pac Wagon? What you got, baby? The triplets out there.
There's nothing like Problem Child University. Who Problem Child University is? Problem Child University is the mighty Alabama Crimson Tide. And we're gonna kick it off. We're gonna kick it off with Mac Jones. We're gonna kick it off with Mac Jones, not Mike Jones out of Houston, Texas, but Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, baby.
You hear me? And all Mac Jones does is get it done. He was 20 for 28, 430. 20 for 28, 385 yards with 4 touches, baby. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. And the Biletnikoff Award winner. I said it. The Biletnikoff Award winner. Already. The man simply known as the Slim Reaper. Is what they call him in Tuscaloosa. Devontae Smith. Remember, it's the same Devontae Smith as a true freshman caught the winning national championship touchdown against Georgia because that was the only person that Tua at the time had a rapport with. He looked off the safety, hit him on the left. You remember that play there, MB. But
Nice.
Devontae Smith had 8 passes for 231 yards and 3 touches, but he had 219 at halftime. And we know how
Heisman
Nick Saban
candidate.
took his foot off the gas. And don't last but not least, California's own.
Yes.
The West Side Connection, baby.
West Side.
Harris, baby. 21 carries, 145 yards with 3 touches.
No doubt.
Just letting you know, Problem Child University. But
let's remember something. The first Najee came out of Miami.
Yeah. He don't
Where
know.
is he now? Let's do it. Where is he now on that guy?
Hey, man, he long gone, man. He old, man. Everybody got to retire at some point. But I wish Klew was here, man, because
where is he?
He's a problem.
He's a problem.
Hey, University of Miami, man, they was a problem for Duke all night long. You know what? It got tough to watch. I couldn't watch anymore. I was out
of respect for my brother, pipe down.
Out of respect for the game, man, I had to turn it off, man. Hey, I heard Miami Hurricane, and we was down 15 players with COVID. All right, but God, that didn't stop anything, man. Held Duke to 177 yards, man. Dedrick King, 3 touches, right? One touchdown run as well, getting it done. Hey, and then Michael Handyman Harley, man. Hey, 89-yard touchdown pass, blown coverage. I was like, their problem. 5 turnovers. That's a problem from the start. You can't beat nobody, right? Turning the ball over. And you're right, man. Hey, that right there with Duke is hard to win, man. They lead the nations in turnovers, and it's hard on Cutcliffe, man. I feel bad for him, man. I like the dude, man. But, hey, Miami, hey, their problem. Duke not holding on to the ball, that's the problem. They out there clowning, man. So I'm going to hold on. I see that's probably why he ain't show up today, because he knows.
I don't like that.
Hey, I'm keeping it copacetic. I ain't even going hard in the paint. Like I said, I felt bad. I had to turn it off, man, at some point. I just
brother's not here to defend himself.
Huh?
My brother's not here to defend himself.
That's what I'm saying. But for me, he ain't got to defend himself, because I'm keeping it. Because trust me, if it was the other way around, hey, you'll be talking, he'll be talking. I'm keeping it. I feel bad. I feel bad. I just feel bad. So I ain't even rubbing it in. It was just tough to watch at the point. It was like, man, this is tough to watch, you know. But but one thing, man, that wasn't tough to watch, and my man Steven Rivers, my man Rivers, he understand. Hey, NFL, man, those New York Giants, they're a problem. It was a problem to the Seattle Seahawks. Wow. Hey, man, and one guy that led the charge on offense is Wayne Gallman. All right, getting it done. ACC running back from Clemson, had 15 carries, all right, 135 yards, all right, moving those chains. And one thing with Seattle defense, they great at stopping the run. Passing is the issue, but the Giants got it done, man, on offense as well. We'll talk a little bit later about that on defense getting it done. But Wayne Gallman with the backup quarterback, he's a problem. They got it done, man. They got it done. What you got, True? What you got, Double A?
I have to go back down to South Florida, and these little pesky Dolphins keep coming around and looking better at the end of the year, just like your Giants.
Yeah.
And they got somebody on the defensive line that didn't have your typical game for a D lineman. 8 tackles, 3 sacks, 5
tackle for losses.
Tackle for losses. Look at that. And 1 block punt.
Yeah. No, it's 1 PBU, and that's a linebacker, Kyle Van Noy from the New England Patriots, getting it done, man.
What's a PBU?
Yeah. Hey, huh?
What's a PBU? Because I'm thinking like a PBJ.
I like that better, man. PBJ.
What's this stand for?
Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Hey, peanut butter jelly, getting it done, man. Getting it done. Pac Jam, you got anybody, baby?
Yes, I want to talk about a guy, man. He's under the radar, man, but he's one of the best tight ends in the game, man.
Yeah.
And that's Darrell Waller, man, of the Las Vegas Raiders, man. All this guy simply does is show up every week, man. And he's the bell cow, man, out there, man, for them Raiders, man. This guy had 13 receptions, 200 yards, man, and 2 tubs, man. You hear what I say, man?
Yeah.
And 38 yards rushing, man. Averaging 15 yards a pump.
There was about 3 or 4 kickers or people on returns this weekend that got abused. You know they're on highlight tapes all over, just with the stutter and the stop, whether they were in a cutback or not. He was one of them, and there was somebody else that was really made look stupid.
Oh, yeah. I mean, shoot. I mean, New England Patriots, man, their returner had over, 100-something yards in return yards, getting it done, 77-yard touchdown run, getting it done. But one guy that got it done, all right, quarterback, the Detroit Lions, man, they fired their head coach and general manager, man, and they got it done. He's a problem, Matthew Stafford, baby, still showing that he got it, man. 27 for 42, 402 yards. That's it, 402 yards. That's not a typo, with 3 touches. All right, give my boy Bevel, man, who was the interim head coach, his first W, man. Hey, they getting it done. Guys play with energetic, man, and Matthew Stafford getting it done, man. Wow. Here's a problem. All right, the Lions, man, trying to get it done, man, trying to get it done. All right, and then another person getting it done in a losing cause, right? And we was talking about this game before. A man heading the game with the Cleveland Browns, man, and Tennessee Titans, man. Wow, Cleveland getting it done. All right, but in a losing cause, Corey Davis, man, he had 11 catches for 182 yards with 1 touch, baby. Hey, moving those chains, because they almost pulled it off, man. They almost came back, because normally, you know, with Derek Henry at running back, man, you know, they was behind so long, man. They had basically he became a non-factor, but Tannehill started getting it done, and Corey Davis was one of the guys that he had that became a problem for Cleveland Browns defense, man. Almost pulled that thing out, you know.
But it shows you.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Tennessee gave you Cleveland gave you the game plan of how to play them.
Yeah,
you play in front of them. Tennessee ain't the same team.
Yeah, they not. They not.
And I hadn't seen that yet.
Well, again, I must have, you know, as much as I like Mike Vrabel had a bad game call. He called a bad game, and what he did was he played with 9 in the box. He simply said, Baker Mayfield, you're going to beat me with your arm. And he had 9 men in box for the entire game. And I thought, but then again, to their credit, remember, they outscored them 28-3 in the second half.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's not get looked at. Mike Vrabel called a bad game. And sometimes we have to call these coaches out when they call a bad game. He was supposed to come out of that defense and say, you know what, let me just play my base package. You know what I mean? Because you're allowing guys you never heard of at receivers to catch touchdowns, and they had that touchdown all year.
Yeah.
So again, that's on Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel had to take that loss on his chest.
Well, you know what, and I definitely understand the point you're making, but when you go on the game plan, I mean, you want Baker Mayfield to beat you. You know, I mean, you talking about these was the 2 top running teams, all right, in national football, 1 and 2, right? And so just no different if you're playing Tennessee Titans, right? The game plan is let Tannehill beat you, right? And that's the thing about it, huh?
When do you say during the course of a game? And that's what I love about Belichick and Nick Saban. And Andy Reid, some of the best in-game decision makers. Because when do you say, you know what, this ain't working? He's beating us. He's showing us he can do it and change the defense. But he stayed with it, and they continued to score. That's what I'm saying. So at some point, you had to see that, hey, I'm making it too easy for him, because they jumped out by 3 touchdowns. When you gonna say, oh, he is beating us? I mean, that's to me, that's a common sense thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you said, that's a good point. It's just like playing chess. I mean, you got to go with the flow of the game, you know? And then on any given Sunday, man, Baker Mayfield got hot and they couldn't put him out, you know? But like you say, second half, they made adjustments. It was a little too late, all right? But again, it done. And like I say, Tannehill was moving the chains, getting it done. But I mean, when you spot a team like that too much and they can run their offense, man, still run their offense, it's going to be tough. And then the defense was showing up too in spots here and there. So, yeah, that's a great point, Pac Jam. I definitely understand what you're saying. Hey, one thing that's that in this section we just finished with, he's a problem, is they clown, right? And one thing I want to get you guys' opinion on this, man. BYU, right? Hey, they was like, man, the Christmas came early for them. They was like, man, we got a chance to play a ranked opponent in Coastal Carolina, replace Liberty, man. It's like, wow, everything. They call it, they was dubbing it the Mormons versus the Mullets, right? and so they got, but hey, man, you got to be careful what you ask for, man. I mean, this game here was like, wow. And I put it on they clowning because they thought their plan was, hey, we're going to play them, help us get in position so we can leapfrog Cincinnati. All right, get in that Big Six bowl game, right? That January 6th, whatever you want to call it, that package, right? And then now, man, they took that L, right?
Back to Provo.
Yes, exactly. They took that L, man, and that was a really good game, man. But Coastal Carolina had other plans, and, man, they came ready to play. And that game went down to the wire. It was a great game. It was a great game, man. I mean, they balled out, man. It was on display, getting it done, man. Running back, I think Marble, I think that's his name. He had over 100-something yards, man. They was getting it done, man. Defense showing up. But it was a great battle. Went to the end. It reminded me of that Rams Tennessee Titan game with the 1-yard stop at the end, right? And then to top it off, man, they had a fight at halftime, So you had it was all good, man. It was a great game. It's definitely fun to watch, man. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts on that, number one, is the fact that I felt that BYU played into the hands of Coastal Carolina with the not being focused. Because if you remember, the game was edgy. BYU did a lot of fighting. Instead of just staying disciplined, staying the course, you're the better, because BYU were the better team, but they got unfocused. They got undisciplined. That BYU best receiver kept fighting with the defensive back after every play. They was not focused, and that cost them that game. If you go in there, because to me, it was BYU game to lose. It really was. And I just felt that BYU had got undisciplined, unfocused. It reminds me when you was growing up and you used to go across town and play a basketball game and your coach say, now, when y'all get in here, they're going to do everything they can now to get you guys rattled because they know they can't compete with you.
Yeah, hey, well, I would say, hey, what about Reggie Miller and John Starks, huh?
Exactly. That's what BYU did. They fell to the bait.
They took
because
the bait.
Remember, they showed a matchup. The center for Coastal Carolina was 5'9", 260. The nose tackle for BYU was 6'4", 360.
So Mike, do you remember who the back in your college days, who was the biggest trash talking team you guys ever played on the road?
I mean, Florida State talked trash.
But who was the dirtiest? Wasn't it BYU when it was in a 90 or something?
Oh, man, BYU, they point shaving on us, man. They didn't cut their grass. I mean, they set us up.
And Keith Jackson called it. I remember in the spring, like awards season or whatever. He goes, "You better watch out. They're coming for you."
Yeah, no doubt.
Nobody took him serious.
No doubt.
Listen, without Ty Detmer, you go to Coastal Carolina during COVID, they got it handed to them. Sorry.
Yeah, and I mean, their quarterback Wilson is like Pac Jam say, they definitely got the talent, man. But hey, Coastal Carolina came ready to play, and that's part of the game plan, man. Talking trash, get them out that game, man. That's part of it, man. And they made plays. It was a close game. It went back and forth, all right, the whole time, and it's almost like who ran out of time and ended up losing, or who had to. So it was definitely a great game to watch, man. But with BYU, they took a gamble. I can't blame them, but they end up taking that L in hindsight.
I got one that he's clowning. I got one for he's clowning.
Who you got, baby?
I got Greg Williams on a sellout blitz on the last of the game.
Oh no! Yeah,
I got Greg Williams.
Yeah.
I got Greg Williams say, I'm not gonna go prevent. I'm not gonna keep everything in front of me. It's fourth and touchdown, 6 seconds left in the game. I'm gonna send the house when John Gruden says, I got 3 receivers all under 6 feet. I'm gonna keep my tight end Wheeler in for max protection, and I'm gonna send my fast 3 midgets all out on a go route. All 3 midgets on a go route. I remind you, 3 midgets on a go route. So ain't no Hail Mary. They whole objective is to just run by you. So Greg Williams say, I'm gonna counter that. I'm gonna sit in the house. And what happens? Alabama's own Ruggs. He only ran a 4.2 in the combine.
Right. That's
all he ran. He only ran a 4.2 in the combine. That's all Ruggs ran. Because
that's the new Smurfs.
Yeah, exactly.
On a side note, if you remember, Ruggs was slated to go in the 2nd, 3rd round. But when he ran the 4.2, he shot in front of Jerry Jeudy of Alabama.
Right.
4.2 is 4.2.
Can't
teach that.
Greg Williams, clean out your locker, baby. It's over with.
No, he already.
They already
that's my dude too.
That's what I know. They fired him.
I know they fired him, man.
Clean out your locker. It's over with.
Oh man, I that hurts. That hurts. You know that's my dude right there, man. But he's aggressive, and that's what happened. And the corner. The dude, it just wasn't a pure go route. The dude hit it with him stutter go. Like he stuttered him and got him to stop his feet, and it was gone. Oh,
you know what, though, MB? It seems like in this day and time, I've never seen so many cornerbacks that don't touch the receiver.
Oh, do you say what now?
Putting their hands on them. These guys are running right like 7-on-7. They're running right on both levels, on the college level as well as NFL level. There's nobody putting hands on people. I think Jalen Ramsey is about the only cornerback that really touches a receiver playing the pass. The rest of these dudes, they just running side by side.
Yeah. I mean, Jalen, you talk about with the speed, right? And I know with Seattle, I mean, they try to get it done, and that's just part of the scheme. You're going to play press 3 coverage, right? Cover 3.
Right.
But a lot of times, man, it's just poor technique and guys get defeated at the line of scrimmage, and you're afraid of that speed, you know? So you're afraid of that speed. Jalen Ramsey, I mean, he's one of the better corners in the league. Trust his speed to stay on top of technique and stuff like that, you know? Hey, Miles, hold on a second. Miles, I got you covered, baby. Yeah. I got you covered, man. We'll be praying for you, man, about going to see the doctor tomorrow, Cat Stand. God, right now, Lord God, just go with him in Jesus' name, Lord God. Let all be well with him, God. No weapon formed against him shall prosper, man. Miles, I appreciate you sharing, man. We'll definitely be lifting you up, brother. All right, appreciate you, man. But yeah, so I definitely understand what you're saying, man. As far as those cover corners, getting it done, man. But technique-wise and stuff like that, man, you got to get it done, and you got to have technique. It's just not all talent going. When you pressing somebody, you know, you got to have some big balls, and you got to have some talent, some technique, and like you say, confidence, man. And definitely Ramsey, man. He's definitely don't lack confidence at all, you know.
I feel like these games without fans in the stands has turned it into like Friday night practices, and it's just they're becoming like shootouts. And it's like, let's see what you got. Your turn now. Your turn. You know, go line it up at the 25.
But double A, you know what's so funny? How on Saturday we see 20, 25,000 people in the stands, and we go to Sunday, and on Sunday we go to a library.
Yeah,
you notice that? College games got 19 to 25,000 hooping and hollering. Let's go. NFL on Sunday, it's a library.
One knows how to run a business. The other knows how to steal from one. Sorry.
Yeah, and this is the whole COVID thing, man. You know, that obviously, as you guys know, man. Hey, but
I'll say this, Pac, but before we go on anything else. Public universities that teach education should know about public health and not putting 20,000 fans in the stands.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Come on, tell the truth. Tell the truth, Shane and Devil.
They do it every Saturday.
I know. Yeah, no doubt. And your boy at Florida, before COVID hit him, he was like, "Yeah, I want a swamp full. I want it packed. I want it packed." You know.
2 days later, him and 35 players got COVID.
Exactly. You know, hey, you gotta be smart, man. Hey, as far as the test, man, getting it done, man. What's your thoughts? Does Ohio State pass the smell test. I mean, they passed the COVID test and ended up beating Michigan State this past weekend. And Justin Field, I mean, he was a problem with his feet and with his arm. All right, getting it done. But what's you guys' thoughts on that? Has Ohio State done enough to make the Big Four?
I don't even know how you answer this at this point. I think it's such a weird dichotomy of a year because you've got the ACC and the SEC have played basically a full schedule for the most part.
I said they ain't done enough. I said, you know why they ain't done enough? They ain't showed me enough. I'm gonna tell you who done enough. Texas A&M done enough. Florida Gators done enough. Alabama's Crimson Tide done enough. Notre Dame done enough. That's who's done enough. Those four I just named to you are the four that has done enough. Texas A&M, Florida Gators, Notre Dame, and Alabama. To me, I'm not even impressed with Clemson. They don't even supposed to be up there. But we so in love with Trevor Lawrence that we got to get them in there. It's the love affair of Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence should even be a Heisman candidate. He hasn't done anything. The Heisman candidacy is between three people: Kyle Trask, Mac Jones, and Devontae Smith, wide receiver of Alabama. It's a 3-horse race. Stop it. Let's cut it out, man. If we're gonna be real, let's be real about it. Trevor Lawrence is what's called the golden child. So we got to get him in this. We got to get him in this championship game. We got to get him in the Heisman. Come on, man, stop it. He has not shown us nothing. He hasn't. What has he done?
Well, I mean, Pat, and I understand what you're saying as far as when you compare him to the other guys, right? Especially at quarterback, right? Kyle Trask, I mean, having an outstanding year, and Mac Jones. I mean, those are the two guys that's the forefront, right?
The kid from Indiana before he got hurt,
and Smith. I'm sorry, say it again. What'd you say, Double A?
The kid from Indiana before he got hurt.
Yeah. Those are the guys that when you talk about, the front runners for the Heisman, those are guys. All right, now Trevor Lawrence is not. I'm not saying he had a good year. He threw for 400 something yards a few times and led them, and then with the body of work. I mean, they played Georgia Tech. They killed. I mean, the competition stuff like that.
That was week one.
Yeah,
he has not lived up to week
one.
But
no. Even when he came back, he was he had a good game against Pitt and stuff like that. And then I think it was another game, obviously against Miami, had a good game, but he didn't have to do too much, right? Travis Etienne was the guy, right? But I understand what you're saying compared to the other guys, but you know how it is, Pat. It's not, I mean, rightfully so, based on his body of work he done in the past. I mean, he's gonna have the height and all that stuff to get it in, right? And then the other part up to it, he never was really tested, So he just did his thing, right? And so you got to give him respect based on his body of work. But you're right. But when you compare it to the other guys who stepped in day in, week out, put up some numbers. I mean, Mac Jones. I mean, I like him from the beginning. He didn't have the hype, but every week he obviously playing the Alabama #1 team and all the talent surround him. That may work against him to some degree just because you see Devontae Smith, you see Najee Harris, the triplets, right? That they may take some votes from him, and then now somebody else can backdoor that thing. You feel me?
So I'm not necessarily as concerned by the Heisman votes. I think the hypothetical is if you're sitting in the NFL and you're the general manager and you get to do the shopping and buy the groceries, when one of those guys shows up, which one are you not passing on? And that's where I think Lawrence is a better NFL quarterback than college.
But the thing is, and that's the problem. That's the problem right there, Double A. We're looking at that and making that as the judgment for the Heisman and for the playoff game. That's not what the criteria is. The criteria is who's giving us a big time game week in and week out. And right now, big time performance has been Kyle Trask, Mac Jones, and Devontae Smith. The 4 best teams that has been rolling. Because Clemson wasn't rolling Saturday. They was not. They wasn't rolling. Alabama's been rolling. Okay? Notre Dame's been rolling with a balanced team. Because that's what we like about Notre Dame. Notre Dame has so much balance that they're showing us both sides of the ball. They're playing great football.
Based on what I saw, that Notre Dame quarterback give an interview this weekend, they're looking forward to playing Clemson again. They want them again.
No doubt. No doubt.
They want them because
I mean, no doubt. Even before they played them the first time, The head coach is like, look, we want Clemson. Like, he didn't go with the traditional, oh, we're just taking one game at a time. He said, no, and this before Lawrence was ruled out. He was like, we're looking for Clemson. So they're not afraid. I mean, and I mean, with their team.
Because they're playing with a chip on their shoulder because there's guys like MB that doesn't want to give them credit because they didn't beat him with Trevor Lawrence.
No. Hey, listen. See there, you missed the last show because last show I was like, you know what? Hey, Notre Dame, man, I like what they do because for me, once they beat North Carolina, right, I was like, because North Carolina is an up and down team, and I know North Carolina was going to come ready to play, and North Carolina offense is like, the fastest show on turf. You know what I'm saying? You
had North Carolina upsetting them, though.
Yes, I did. And so what I'm telling you,
been Notre Dame since week 1.
You say what?
Mr. Wagon.
Been the one guy that's been Notre Dame since week 1.
Oh, no doubt, Pat Wagon. I mean, you know how to pick a winner, but I'm telling you,
I know talent, brother. I know talent.
Hey, no, you know how to pick a winner.
No.
I don't know if it got nothing to do with talent or not.
No, because
you know how to pick a winner. Because right now, that's the thing. They playing great team ball, getting it done. And Ian Brooks he's a player. He's just a player. He may not have the measurables and stuff that you like, but that dude just a ball player. He knows how to get it done. That's why he's the winning quarterback in Notre Dame history. And they get it done.
Him to Jake the Snake, if you remember.
Yes, no doubt.
Me of Jake
no doubt. I agree.
And then secondly, I said Notre Dame.
What is this like? Pat your back? Come on, you want to pat?
No.
Go ahead.
No, listen to this. There's 2 schools that have an offensive line that's been together 3 years. There's only 2. And this is important right here. I'm going to give you a gem.
I know Duke is one.
That's Alabama and Notre Dame. That is, to me, that's everything when you got an offensive line been together 3 years. To me, that makes a big difference. It doesn't matter who's carrying the rock because those guys got cohesiveness together and they know how to operate together. The chemistry. That to me is big, especially when you lose running backs and bring in new quarterbacks and things like that. And you got an offensive line been together 3 years. That's to me, that's a powerful thing, man.
Didn't Lombardi
Notre Dame?
Didn't Lombardi only used to practice one play?
Yeah,
sweep, right? Sweep, whatever it was.
Hey. Well said, Pat, man. But hey, Notre Dame, man, the thing about them, like I said on the last year, when they beat North Carolina, I say, man, that was really impressive. And I was like, because I know based on their skill, I mean, they're well coached. Notre Dame, man, they just got it right now. They play great as a team, right? Mm-hmm. And they play great team ball and get it done. And their skill positions are better than what you think. The receiver 88, I think he had another 100 yards against Syracuse. I mean, but he getting it done at 50-50 ball, tall receivers, good, like you said, offensive line, defensive line, coordinators getting it done. So they really getting it done, man. So when you talk about that race though for that 4, right? Then who you talking about? You already gave your selection. What's your thoughts, Double A? Who you see being in that at the end of the day, right? Who you seeing being in the playoffs?
I definitely see Notre Dame, and I definitely see 2 SEC teams being Bama and probably the Gators. And I think the 4th is maybe Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way it works.
Yeah,
Notre Dame wins. Clemson's out. They can't claim a spot.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So we talked the last show. We talked about these different scenarios, right?
Right.
So you look at it right now. Alabama and Florida on a crash course to play in the SEC, right? So if you look at that, so if Florida somehow beat Alabama, right, then now Alabama is still in, right? And then Florida is going to be in. And then now the thing about it, you got Clemson and Notre Dame playing, right? So then now if you look at this, say Clemson was to beat Notre Dame, right? Then who's in? Is Notre Dame still in, or with now Ohio State, right? I mean, you think about, because if Ohio State go undefeated, I don't care how many games they play, they're going to be in, But what are you doing in that situation, right? And then now you got Texas A&M, like Pat Jam just talked about. They're sitting in the wing, right?
Funny.
You know,
A&M, he got out of FSU just in time, huh?
Texas A&M needs Alabama.
Yeah.
Texas A&M knows if Alabama win, they in.
True.
So Pac Jam. So you're saying, okay, Alabama beat Florida, right?
Florida's out.
You're saying that. Give me the scenario. You're saying that obviously you feel Notre Dame's going to beat Clemson, but say if Clemson beat Notre Dame, who's in? So Clemson's in, right?
Texas A&M still can leapfrog Notre Dame because Texas A&M has the win against Florida.
Well, so what difference that make? What that got to do?
What I'm saying is it holds a lot of weight with the voters.
So you're saying that. So give me your four then. Give me your four.
Listen, Texas A&M said we beat a healthy Florida.
Yep.
Notre Dame argument is if they lose to Clemson we beat Clemson, but without Trevor.
Exactly. That's what I said last time, right? Yep.
So that's why Notre Dame would not go in front of Texas A&M because Texas A&M argument would be we beat a healthy Florida.
Okay, so you're saying Ohio State will go in. An undefeated Ohio State team will go in. That would be your number 3 team.
Right.
Okay. All right.
It'd be Alabama, Clemson, Texas A&M.
Okay,
Ohio
gotcha.
State.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I mean that's what we talked about last show, talking about that same scenario right there.
Right.
And I thought because Notre Dame and me and Klew was talking, Klew was like, but that's Notre Dame. I said, but yet the fact that they now, if Clemson beat them, then now the stigma is, well, Clemson, Notre Dame only beat Clemson because Trevor Lawrence wasn't there. Right.
And
that's going to be
and Jimbo Fish is going to be like, hey, we beat a healthy Florida.
So that makes good TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Jimbo's going to say we held Florida under 24 points. So Jimbo's going to be like, hold up, don't do me like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to put Texas A&M in there. And their only loss, and Jimbo's only loss is against Alabama.
Right, but then what's your argument? I mean, do you feel like it's fair with Ohio State? Because, last show we was talking about they may not get 6 in, but now it seems like going to get 6 in and 7 ain't, man. Have you seen it?
Well,
so now back to Ohio State. Have we seen enough Ohio State? Because it seemed like you was double talking like, well, no, Ohio State, no, they shouldn't be in. No. But so is it shouldn't be in, or but you say they should be in, but they definitely be in if they're undefeated?
Should not be in if they can't get to 6 games. If Ohio State only give me 5 games, they cannot get in. Yeah, because when you look at the SEC, and this is my biggest argument when this thing started, you cannot tell me an SEC conference who ran the gauntlet during COVID, week in, week out, and they played and they've given you 11 games, and you're gonna tell me a 5-0 team should go in front of team 10-1? No. I can't. No. You can't do that. A team 10-1, he showed you I played 11 games, 10-1, and you only played 5?
Right.
No, you can't do that.
Right. So if you were a TV exec, who do you think they want to see?
I put the 10-1 in there.
Yeah.
I put the 10-1 in there because I know the 10-1's gonna give me a complete game. He's been tested. Ohio State ain't been tested. So you cannot be. I tell you what, Double A.
Well, Ohio.
Hold on, Mike. Double A, would you be surprised if Ohio State made it as the 4th seed and Alabama beat them by 35? Would you be surprised?
No.
Yes or no? Would you be surprised? And why wouldn't you be surprised?
Because I see them as Ohio State, they're getting in. But what Alabama does them is nothing. It doesn't matter.
But you're seeing that they ain't played enough games to be tested. Why you wouldn't be surprised, right?
I don't even think so. I just think you could see clearly that this SEC, they played the entire season, and even the ACC, that these Big Ten teams, and Pat, you haven't seen a big enough sample size to know who's what. They hadn't had to run the whole gauntlet, as you said.
Right.
That's my argument with them and the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Right.
They should have their own conference and play in the spring.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. That was what we was talking about, man.
But I want to come back to one thing for Pac, since your brother didn't show up today. He should be happy that the ACC network was covering the game because nobody saw it.
That's enough shots fired at my brother.
A prime time 8 o'clock game that nobody saw, right?
MB knows what's gonna happen. No, coming that when that basketball's in there, they'll get
There
back.
you go. There you
different
go.
story.
That's all
Get 'em
y'all
back.
got. Well,
Different
hey,
story.
I don't know because they've been taking some L's with basketball too. Michigan State. I mean, obviously Michigan State, Miami ain't Michigan State level, but hey, they've been taking some L's. So hey, we need to maybe pump those brakes a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying?
But it leads to a good question because you thought Carolina might beat Notre Dame last week. Now Miami's got to play them. Do we see the real Miami or do we see the new Miami?
Just like that North Carolina, that North Carolina that offense is explosive, right? And so we need to see what happened. I mean, far as against Duke, what's name brought this up? How far off is Miami? Hey, we about to see how real it is, man. Because right now, man, this North Carolina team, man, they get it done. Their offense
with Miami is this. This is the problem to me with Miami. Miami starts slow.
Big problem.
And the thing about North Carolina is you cannot afford to start off slow. You can't go out there kicking back-to-back field goals, and they done put up 14 points. You're not gonna get back.
No doubt.
That's the thing. It's like Miami has to start fast.
No doubt. We got to play 60 minutes of football. The defense, we got close to that last week against Duke, all right, especially with all the injuries and stuff like that. What I like offensively, right, is our commitment to run the ball, and we got some production out of it. But even then, since the Clemson game, I was looking at this. We only ran the ball like 27 times, but since after that, man, we've been running like 40, even though we haven't at least averaged by 40 attempts, even though we haven't seen the production. But the thing is, that's where our offense built off of. It's built off the play action pass. It's built off the commitment to run the ball. It opens things up. And then now in that breath, one thing that's very encouraging is the receivers have been stepping up and developing, And so on defense side of the ball, D-line has been doing extremely well. All right. Jalen Phillips. All right. Roche, the defense end, Nesta inside, been doing good. It's the back seven, the inconsistent play on the back seven that concerns me. Too many self-inflicted wounds, blown coverage, and stuff like that. So this past game, I'm hoping that they could build upon that, even though it had a lot of guys out, but I'm hoping that they could build on that because they got it. They got to build on that because North Carolina is going to test all that on the back seven,
Absolutely.
The question to me is not even the Miami's D. It comes back to that offensive line because this game against Duke was the first time that he went without. They went without a sack.
Yeah.
So is that an apparition, or is that going to be the way they're moving forward?
Have Lawrence Taylor over there, okay?
You say what?
Carolina don't have LT.
Oh no. You say they don't have Lawrence Taylor, but Duke. I mean, Duke had Rutgers in the ACC.
I digress. They didn't have number 27 over there neither. Yeah. Klew would have got back there. He would have got back there. Yeah.
Hey, that the dude that's leading North Carolina right there in sacks is their weak side linebacker, number 21. Yeah. He got 6 sacks. They blitz a lot, man. They come at it. So Double A, you're right, man. The protection got to be on point, man. And against Duke, that's one of the things Duke did well. Like I said, they had the 2 leading rushers in the ACC. Rump, and I forgot the other dude, 51. 51 got back there one time and stuff like that. But hey, they gotta protect them because I mean it starts up front with protection and run blocking and getting that thing done. So we'll see. It's gonna be a great test.
I'll say this: the highlight I saw, the first throw that he did to Brevin Jordan, the end zone shot they showed of it, beautiful.
Oh yeah.
That looked like a Sunday throw. I mean, you could see that.
Yeah, and Brevin Jordan is a Sunday tight end, baby. I mean, get him back in the mix definitely helped a lot, man. And speaking on Sundays, man, once again, man, the G-Man pull out the upset week in NFL. You got the Giants beating Seattle, man, 17-12. You got Cleveland. We talked about smash Tennessee. The score at the end was closer to what it thought, 41-35. And then close but no cigars with we mentioned this earlier with Vegas sneaking past the Jets, man. The Jet had an opportunity to get that W, man. And we talked about that earlier with Pac Jam, man. They calling it all out zero pressure, man. And man, and unfortunately, my boy paid for it. He's the DC. So when you look at the NFL, man, Klew talked about this. It's kind of tough to predict. What's a lot of questions more so than anything at this late in the stage. Who's your 4 best teams in the AFC, and who's your 4 best teams in the NFC based on what we've been seeing all season long?
Well, based on what I've been seeing in the NFC, the 4 best teams will have to be the New Orleans Saints. It'd have to be the Green Bay Packers. It would have to. It would have to be
The Rams.
the Rams. LA Rams are playing great football right now.
Yeah, end up beating Arizona this past week.
Yeah, and that 4th team.
Yeah, that was a toss-up with me too.
Who they are.
Hey, let me throw some names out, Pac Jam. See what you think. Obviously, it don't seem good this week because they end up taking that L. But you had Seattle Seahawks, Tampa Bay, and New York Giants. Guys now 5-7.
So either Seattle or Tampa is the 4th team in the NFC. Wow.
I mean, you got Minnesota starting to, try to catch up. They 6-6, I believe. You know what I'm saying? But nobody, that 4th team, especially with the NFC West division, you got they're gonna play each other again. The Rams, Seattle, Arizona.
I would say
so
Seattle,
they could trade places. You feel me?
Seattle, but what I've noticed is this, and I'm gonna see if you guys notice the same thing. Seattle never invested in that offensive line, and Russell Wilson is tired. That's what it is. He's simply fatigued because he has to do so much to throw the ball. Because when he says hut, the defense is back there. And if you look at 10 weeks of football, I saw it yesterday, first quarter. His legs aren't there. They're like rubber bands right now. He's tired. He really is because he's been running all season. And he's tired.
Yeah, and that's a good point because you're right. I mean, I talk about Wayne Goldman as far as he's a problem, but on defense, Leonard Williams was a problem. I mean, he had 2.5 sacks, 5 quarterback hits, man. They was harassing Russell, Now, when you say not investing into him, I know a little bit more inside. They have invested into the offensive lineman. They traded for Dwayne Brown from Houston Texans a few years ago. He's their left tackle. They spent the 1st-round pick on Jermaine Fetty. He's not there from Texas A&M. He's with the Bears now. They paid the center. They got rid of him. But then you're right. They've been trying different combinations, and it's challenging, right? Just like most teams, once you pay your quarterback, right, and then that quarterback and then Bobby Wagner, well-deserved, a lot of money spread out on that, spread out that, you're right. One of the positions that have suffered is the offensive lineman in that regards. You know what I'm saying? And Russ, let Russ cook, man. He getting tired. And that's what he's talking about, the running game and trying to establish the running game and get that going.
Russ move the first 3 weeks in the NFL to now is night and day.
No doubt, because before everybody he was garnering MVP votes.
Right.
Now it's like, man, he's not even part of the conversation.
But let me ask you this: you're in the playoffs. Who do you want to line up against? Goff, or do you want to line up against Wilson or Brady?
Right now, I'd rather line up against Wilson.
Well, and I would say from a team standpoint, I mean, because Seattle defense, passing wise, I mean, Tampa, they got a defense,
not like the Rams.
No. Tampa defense is good, but the Rams they've definitely been coming along very well now. They've been playing well. But that's the thing, you're right. So it's more of a complete team, but that's a good point. Who you rather face? Because Goff has been inconsistent.
He hasn't proven it yet.
Right, Goff has been very inconsistent. Their defense is carrying them, right? I mean, that's a great point. What you say, Pac Jam?
All Goff has to do is throw the ball in the stands if it's not there.
Yeah, but he's not doing that.
Just throw it in the stands.
He's not Trent Dilfer. He thinks he's something different.
His problem has been forcing, and it's the INTs.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They're like, throw the ball in the stands. We okay.
Right. And rely on the defense, rely on that. So this past week, he redeemed himself and played a whole lot better. All right, but it's a question mark. You're right. So out of that NFC, man, And like I say, at the NFC West, they play each other. Arizona, Kyle Murray, those guys, they can get healthy, get it going because
there's only one team that can go beat the Saints in the playoffs, man. It's only one team.
Who's that?
One team.
Who?
The Rams is the only team that can go to New Orleans and beat them.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Nobody else can go to New
You don't think Green Bay can?
No.
No.
Green Bay defense cannot stand up against that. No.
Even if they got out in front?
No, they will not. No. That defense gives up too much on the back end. No.
Well, and we talking about obviously you factored in with the healthy Drew Brees, right? Because even though he had a better game this week, right?
No. Listen, we gotta do better. We gotta really realize a genius when we see one. There's two offensive geniuses in the NFL. One's in Kansas City. His name's Andy Reid. The other one is Sean Payton. Sean Payton is what Bill Belichick is to defenses. I show you a different defense from week to week is what Sean Payton is to offense. I show you a different offense week to week based on the personnel we're playing. He's a genius.
Double A, you're muted. You're muted.
They hired Sean Payton way back when.
You say what?
Where would the Cowboys have been if they made him the coach, Sean Payton?
Oh yeah,
they had 3 Super Bowls by now.
Yeah. Hey, I agree with your assessment. I love Sean Payton, but when you start hearing that playoff, right? All right, you got to have Drew Brees back. He'll facing Atlanta Falcons defense. I know that defense well. The scheme is definitely not as challenging and taxing for a quarterback. I mean, they know it's predictable to some degree, right? It's more talent based than scheme based, right? But when you get a playoff, man, and based on who you're facing, he's gonna face some coordinators and face some defense coordinators, and it's gonna be a chess match. But Drew Brees and Sean Payton is no different than Belichick and Brady, right? But they know how to get it done, and they know how to get it done. And
when you look at what Taysom Hill has offensively, just watch this. Walk with me now. Offensively, Taysom Hill has Emmanuel Sanders, Michael Thomas. He has the running back. Can't think his name right. What's his name? The running back.
Kamara.
He has Latavius. He got Murray.
Yep.
And he has Jared Cook. He has weapons.
But hey, just how you was getting on earlier with Vrabel saying like I'm gonna pack the box and make Baker Mayfield be, they will get that the whole time. I mean, when you get in the playoff, they will pack the box, right? They will double Michael Thomas, take away the quick game, and they will make Hill beat them. And what I'm saying is that when you get the playoff and you start playing those better teams, it's one thing to get away with something. Listen back down. Let me finish this thought. It's one thing you got Hill at quarterback and you playing Denver Broncos and Atlanta Falcons, right? It's another thing when you got Hill at quarterback and you playing a really great defense, right? And that's all I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think he has the ability. And I love Sean Payton. And like I say, I was like, I was like, please don't tell Sean, but I think the Falcons are going to beat him because just in Hill, just what I saw, I'm a little concerned. You got to have Drew Brees back, to get over that hump and get going. You saw last year, the previous years with Minnesota Vikings where they're facing a better defense that, it's a challenge, right? And you mentioned the Rams, they with the little phantom non-call, right? That helped them out. That pass interference that didn't get called helped them out, broke my heart, right? But you got to have Drew Brees to get over top. You can't rely on Hill, in my opinion, as far as when you reach the playoffs.
To me, as long as New Orleans has the home field, I don't think you need Drew Brees. I really don't.
Oh, wow.
I think, Pac, you might be right.
Good Lord.
I think you got a Jeff Hostetler. If someone comes in there and just is the maintenance guy, doesn't turn the ball over with Sean Payton, if they're playing from in front, they can win.
Double A. Two years ago, who won the Super Bowl?
I don't remember. I got no short-term memory.
Philadelphia.
Where are they now?
Well, hold up. Watch this. No, listen to this here. They won the Super Bowl with a quarterback That's they got that's sitting next to the Gatorade right now.
Yeah.
My point is, if
Doesn't
you
take
got
it.
a guy that's gonna play the system
Yeah.
and not turn the ball over, you win the game. And that's what I'm saying with Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill does exactly what Sean Payton requires him to do. He doesn't turn the ball over. They got a lot of great gadget plays, a lot of misdirection plays. They got speed on the outside.
Pat Jam, you act like this Trent Deffer and Deffer, excuse me, Trent. How you say his name?
Trent
Deffer and the Baltimore Ravens defense, bro.
This ain't the Ravens.
This ain't the Ravens defense. I love my man Sean Payton, and I hope, but it's all once you hit those playoffs, it's all about matchup, like you said. And if they get with somebody who's got enough offense, like say Green Bay Packers, right, that can put some points on the board, take advantage of stuff, right? It could be an issue in the sense of now if the game's close and all that stuff, it could be a problem. You know?
Who you think got number one defense in the NFL right now?
Oh man, hey, that number's kind of.
New Orleans got number one defense.
No, listen, that number's padded. Pack Jam. If you take out the Denver game, that number is very padded right now because just a little while ago, right, they were talking about how New Orleans was giving up a lot of explosive plays and stuff like that. Now they had a great showing against, and don't get me wrong, I'm a Saints fan. I predicted them to win, right? Predicting them to win the thing, right? I say that's my team. So I understand what you're saying. They're getting better, right? But it's just, to me, you need Drew Brees. You're talking about Drew Brees, one of the best quarterbacks of all time with all the numbers you need to get it going.
Drew Brees was dinking and dumping before he got hurt. That's not Drew Brees from 4 years ago. Drew Brees is dumping and dinking, man. He's not throwing deep balls. That's why Taysom Hill gives them even more because he's athletic and he can throw the ball deep. Drew Brees has not thrown a deep pass, man, in 3 years. What are y'all looking at? He has not. Drew Brees was getting five.
No, Pat.
Double A. Drew Brees was competing against Marino, throwing for 5,000 yards a season. He's not doing nowhere near that now.
What are you talking about? What did he? Okay, hold on. You gotta let me look at some stats because let's look at the numbers he had last year. Right? Pull up some numbers.
I just told you. I'm not pulling up no numbers. I just told you presently what he's doing. He's dumping and dinking. It's what he's doing. You talking like that's Drew Brees from 3 years ago. It's not.
No, I'm not saying that, Pat. I'm just saying, though, Pat, I understand what you're saying. I'm saying in that system, right? And you got to look at it. This year, right, Michael Thomas, he have his best receiver for a long time, right? Then Emmanuel Sanders got hurt. It was like, who they got to throw the ball to because receiver's gone, right? And so they find a way to get it done. I'm not saying that this year he's an MVP candidate. All I'm saying, when you talk about getting in the playoffs and going to the Super Bowl,
we just said
you need more than Hill at quarterback to get it done. And I love Peyton.
Double A, we just said name 4 teams for the NFC and couldn't name 4. So how all of a sudden, if you couldn't name 4, I'm going to take Tampa. They're not going to beat the Saints. Green Bay not going to beat the Saints. The Rams with Jared Goff is not going to go in there. Jared Goff turning that ball over beating the Saints.
This guy, Aaron Rodgers, gets the ball ahead of you. I wouldn't want to play him in the playoffs.
But Aaron Rodgers' defense can't stop running water.
Oh, I don't know.
Aaron just showed that against the Indianapolis Colts. The defense was pitiful.
Hey, my man Trent say you tripping, Pat. He said, man, you think Hill is better option than Drew Brees. That's what you sound like you're saying.
Right now he is, yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Who's the NFC East team that even makes it in the playoffs?
Pat, hold on, Pat.
Redskins.
Drew Brees, Pat Jam. Drew Brees right now. You had like Drew Brees just stinking up the place. He got 196 yards, 8 touches, right? And only 3 interceptions. His quarterback rating is 110. You had like he played majority of the season without his top receivers, top 2 receivers.
Say that again.
He's got 2,196 yards, 8 touches, with only 3 interceptions. his rating.
Dumping and dinking.
His rating is 110. But that's what Drew Brees been doing the majority of the time. You know, every now and then he'll throw the deep ball, but we ain't don't get it twisted. That joker manage a game. He get that ball out, his completion rate, underneath passes, all that stuff. He take his shot at different shots at different time. But he that's how he kept moving the chains all the time.
This is what happens. This is what happens when fans fall in love with what used to be.
True, but I'll say this:
not the same.
No. I'm just saying. I agree with Trent Williams. Is that Drew Brees is a better option than Hill? Right?
No.
Drew Brees only got 3 interceptions. So you talking about managing the ball? He's not point saving.
Time before he got hurt.
You say what?
They were splitting time before he got hurt.
Bro, they always split time in the sense that they come in as a mixture with the Wildcat package.
The red zone. He's a threat.
Yeah, or just throughout. It's not only the red zone, it's throughout. They always been doing that since they had Hill. They always been massaging them in and working it like that.
Guess what?
Nobody ever saw it like a split time.
Why do you think nobody's rushing Drew Brees back?
Because
he hurt.
No, they're not rushing him back because he's content with Taysom Hill. That's why.
Okay. I don't
know about that. But I'll say this, Pac, and the one thing I will say is Peyton doesn't need Drew Brees to throw 5,000 yards anymore. He changed it. He shortened the game. They possessed him.
And he doesn't need it up. That's my point. He doesn't need Drew Brees at all. That's why Taysom Hill.
Oh, he didn't say he don't need Drew Brees at all. Hold on now. It's the reason why they defend the man constantly. It's not. He never say he don't need him at all. Pac Jam. So you think okay? You seen enough. I just want to make sure I understand you. You seen enough at a Hill from playing Denver Broncos and Atlanta Falcons. You're like, man, we don't need Drew Brees. This guy could take New Orleans to the Super Bowl. Is that what
I've seen enough out of the NFC that I said he could do that.
He could do that.
The NFC is weak, man. It's weak this year. That's what I'm basing it on. I'm not saying Taysom Hill is Peyton Manning. I'm saying the NFC is so weak that they can take Taysom Hill and go to Tampa with him. It's what I'm saying.
Oh, gee.
Before we rag on the NFC, let's see if we can name 4 teams in the AFC because I'm having a hard time.
No, AFC, the record's a little bit better. Obviously you got Kansas City and Pitt, right? You got Buffalo Bills, right? And then this toss up, or I mean even Buffalo toss up because Dolphins, they're right there nibbling on their heels, right? Yeah. Then you got Tennessee and Indiana battling, then Cleveland based on what they doing. All right, it's the same type of scenario too, in my opinion.
I think there's 2 top teams in each league. I think you got KC and Pitt in the AFC, and you got the Saints and the Rams, and maybe the Packers. I would not want to play Aaron Rodgers.
I'm gonna say this right now.
Talk to me, Pat.
Pittsburgh is one and done. That's the most fraudulent 11-0 team in the NFL. They're not good at all. Their first game, they lose. They go home. Their first
11 games is a nice sample size.
After the 5, they're gone.
Pat, why you say that, buddy? Gone. Talk to me. Break it down. Explain to him, Pat. Show him what you saw, baby. What did you see?
What I see is their defense, their line. What I see is they can't stop the run.
Okay.
Their secondary is spotty. The offensive line is weak. Big Ben been taking a lot of hits. Okay. Their running game is not as good as one would think it is. Okay. They only have one in their receiving core. When you take away the jump ball from Klew, they don't have anything. Pittsburgh, what you saw against Baltimore last week, that's Pittsburgh. That wasn't like that was an anomaly. That's Pittsburgh. They have not shown you that they're a rough shop 11-0 team. They're not.
Okay.
But they're 11-0.
The Colts will beat Pittsburgh. Yeah, they will go in there and beat Pittsburgh. I said it. The Colts will beat them. Buffalo will beat Pittsburgh. Yeah, I said it. Buffalo. Pittsburgh is one and done. You heard it here first.
Okay. Okay. Y'all heard it from Pac Jam, baby.
Their first home game. No need for a terrible towel because it won't be one to swing anyway. They're out of there.
You heard it, man. Hey. And as a matter of fact, they play Washington tonight. And then you got Buffalo and San Fran as well. So But yeah, you heard it here, Pac Jam, baby, Pac Jam. Hey, he know how to pick him and his brother, man. They rubbing on people's bellies, man. They know how to pick them, man. So you heard it here. So hey, so we'll be able to put that to the test, Pac Jam, because Pittsburgh, they're at Buffalo right next week. So that'll be a good preview to see how they do.
You know what the excuse gonna be then? Well, we really were trying to go undefeated.
No, I ain't never heard nobody say that. Not at that point.
We done clinched. We done clinched already.
Yeah, that's still well, and then they may say it on this point because Pac Jam, two of the teams you mentioned that could possibly that you feel can upset them, they play them. So they play Buffalo on December 13th, and then they play the Colts at home on December 27th. Now that could be one of the things where we clinch and but hopefully that's not the case, So we'll be able to put what you say, Pac Jam, all right, to the test, baby.
Playing the Colts outside is different than playing them indoors in Indianapolis.
But this is the Colts team. This ain't Peyton Manning. This ain't the Peyton Manning Colts.
True.
But hey, now the Colts
they can play anywhere.
Hold on, Pac Jam. Now, hold on. Now, I need to check. I needed one of those infrared temperature gauge now, right? Because are you saying that? Because one person that concerned me with the Colts, just like how you, and the same person concerned me with the Steelers too, is the quarterback got a habit of doing too much, and Phillip Rivers and Big Ben are like kissing cousins when it comes to that.
The difference is this. Since Phillip Rivers has been with the Colts, his interceptions have went way down. You know why? Because he has a great offensive line in front of him.
Yeah, he got good offensive line.
Led by Ryan Kelly, Tuscaloosa's own, baby. Alabama at the center, the highest paid center in the game, big time Ryan Kelly. I'm telling you, you heard it here first. They're gonna beat Pittsburgh, man.
Hey, but here's the thing though, in their losses, and I wish I had the stats in front of me, right? That's been one of my concerns. In their losses, he has not managed the ball well. All right. He has thrown interceptions and that's not good,
He reverts to that throwing a pick for a touchdown. He's that guy, He's always gonna put you down one score for whatever reason until they wake up.
Yeah, and Big Ben, he's just saying that he concerned me too. When it's the big game, they try to do too much and force the issue.
You know what's so funny though? I'm gonna call you out again. You know what's so funny?
Call me out.
How today's analysts and today's folks would say what MB just said about Big Ben, and say that about the quarterback with the Colts.
Rivers.
But yet we anoint Brett Favre as being a gunslinger. He was
no.
He lost plenty of games with his arm.
What I'm saying is we changed the verbiage though. We say gunslinger.
No, I don't. Not me. Not me. No. I'm big with you about protecting the ball. One of the best indicators of success is the turnover battle, right? And I remember like Carolina and man, Dom Capers used to emphasize that so
Collins,
much.
Right, the Super Bowl, right? Gave the game away. I remember that too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, anytime we lose, I'm like, man, we had it in our brain, like, okay, we +1, okay, we -1. Oh, we got this chance of winning. We're united. Oh, we got, so turnover, man, protecting the ball, being a defensive guy, man, I'm telling you, it's big with me. So no, Brett Favre, I mean, you're right. You see people coming to, the gunslinger, this and they anoint him, but man, he careless with that ball, man. He gets you beat, Yeah. He gets you beat. He'll
win your games, but also lose your games.
And they're a team, right, that they could have won more, right, with him if he were to protect the ball, right, in the past. So he, with his ability and talent they have around him, all right, they should have won more championships, all right, if he would have did better protecting the ball, And you see that a lot, though. Whenever you see somebody with a strong arm and whatnot, they feel like they can make every throw.
That's where Jimmy got in trouble.
Oh, you're muted.
Jimmy got in trouble with Marino because he turned him from Marino to just the classic trying to be the next version of the Troy Aikman offense that they had with Norv Turner. And that wasn't Marino's game at that point. So the match has got to work, whoever the coach and the quarterback is.
At that time, football wasn't his game at all.
True.
It was time to get in the booth.
They was trying to what?
It was time to get in the booth. Marino was done.
And Jimmy knows it to this day. He knows that sank his chance, whatever he did there.
Yeah, no doubt, man. All right, well, look, man. Hey, hey, great show, fellas, man. We went. I know we went overtime, but just talking ball, man. And we still left a lot of meat on the bone, but it's all good, Pac. Pac, any final thoughts about anything, man?
Hey, man. Again, my thought is this: Florida Gators, you got 2 more weeks for telling lies. You got 2 more weeks of telling lies, and then truth will be served in Atlanta.
I like it.
That's my final thought.
All right, Double A, man. What's your thoughts, man? Any final thoughts?
I have to agree with Pac. I think they're going to be eating some gator meat up there in Tuscaloosa. Okay. As far as college ball, I think you're seeing who the few teams are. It's going to be one question: is it business over who actually earns it and warrants it? And knowing the NCAA, it's going to go with business first. NFL, I think you got a nice looking playoffs ahead of you from what it's looking like to me.
Yeah.
Right now, unless COVID get in the way.
It's going to get in the way.
And they got a plan of expanding it, right? If some of the games are shortened, right? Because I think another team got hit with COVID.
Carolina.
Was it Carolina? Yeah. So
it shut down.
So they got a plan. If COVID get in the way, they'll, I guess, reduce the games, regular season games, and increase the playoff capacity.
Just can't do what the Denver quarterbacks did.
Yeah, you can't do that at all. Wear your mask, man. Wear your mask, man. And then we got the NBA. You talking about COVID? Got the NBA with their whole COVID protocol about to get started too, as well. Man. Hey, and then what? Pat. Okay, I got to get y'all opinion on this, man. James Harden, man. Right? What you think going to happen with that situation? Is he going to be a Rocket, or he's going to force a trade?
Anywhere. He's not going nowhere.
Okay.
So right now, all he needs to do is just deal with it, understand it. You got 2 years left on your deal. They're not trading you. They already told you they're not trading you. They're not.
Okay. Double A, any thoughts?
At this point, I don't think anybody's trading for him for what they'd have to give up to get him. I don't think it would.
There's no way that Houston can get an even trade.
Right. There's no way. So who's going to give it up? Nobody.
You can't tell me I traded generational talent for 6 players. That's not even.
Right.
And that's what it'd be. Because it'd be 6 players because of the contract. He's making $43 million. So you're going to give him 6 players who make that combined $43 million, who's nowhere near James Harden level. Are you serious? No, I don't want that.
Only 5 guys on the court at a time.
No. Guess what, James Harden? Come on in the camp because we're not going nowhere.
Yeah, right now he's holding out, man. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, you hold out until the paycheck start coming, and guess what you do then? Begrudgingly come on in.
Well, you know what though? That's the thing with the basketball, because they was trying to make him the first $50 million a year man, and he turned it down, right? But he's getting that money from Adidas and other stuff as well.
He turned it down. When you look at his deal, he has 2 years left remaining at 43 and 45. And the 2 year 100, the 2 year 105 was an extension. That's why he turned it down. He's like, I can finish out these 2 years and go get $50 million from somewhere else. I don't want it here. That's why he turned it down.
Yeah.
It's what I call live monopoly money.
That's what it is.
Yes.
One in the hand is better than 2 in the bush. In 2 years, you don't know what happens to the Achilles and the knee, man. Yeah. Take it now.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. All right, fellas, man. Hey, I appreciate your final thoughts, man. Y'all have a great day, man. Peace. Appreciate you. Right. Hey, man, from Sideline to Baseline, your boy MB, Klew's not here, man. Double A, man, holding it down with Pac Jam. Hey, appreciate you guys coming on and checking us out. Y'all have a great day. Appreciate the love. All right. See you on Friday at 6 o'clock. All right, Double A, appreciate you, man. Outstanding job, man. Tell your wife.